Technical difficulties? Okay, so what organ, if I can get it in focus. Okay, take a look at that. Get a little closer now. What organ was the question? Okay, here's a little closer, so there's pretty good. Yeah, that's the trachea. Okay, and what's the name of this structure?
Trachealis muscle?
Yeah, that's the trachealis muscle. And even though it doesn't say, oh yeah, it does say what kind of tissue on your list. What kind of tissue is that?
Smooth.
Not hyaline. Smooth muscle. Yeah, smooth muscle. Okay, and then your next structure is this here. What is that? The name of that structure, and it goes all the way around. What's the name of that structure?
Tracheal cartilage?
Yeah, it's like a C shape, kind of, or a little more than a C. Tracheal cartilage. And what kind of tissue is that comprised of? Hyaline cartilage. Good. Okay, and then the epithelium. What kind of epithelium? Even though you can't see it right here, can you? It's a little funky right there. Yeah. That
Simple?
crazy submucosa right there. Okay, so yeah, the respiratory system, pseudostratified, ciliated, columnar, almost the whole thing. Okay, so all the upper respiratory system is that pseudostratified, ciliated, columnar. Now until you get down to the smallest portions, the bronchioles and the alveoli, does it change? Okay, so here's your pseudostratified, ciliated, columnar epithelium. And let's see if we can see. So there it is. That looks
Cilia.
nice. You can see the cilia. So this is where it ends here. So basal lamina would be here. This is a mucous membrane, the epithelium and the underlying areolar tissue. Mucous membrane all along the respiratory tract. Here's your, what kind of tissue is that?
Hyaline.
Hyaline cartilage, yeah. So some good looking hyaline cartilage. Okay. Some of you noticed the esophagus was right behind on that trachea slide, so I thought that was cool that you noticed that. Some of you noticed it was skeletal muscle, so you remembered it must have been the top part of the esophagus. Right. Okay, so we have two structures here side by side, two organs. What is this organ?
Artery.
Artery, and what is this?
A vein.
A vein. Good. What's that in the middle?
Blood.
Blood. Good. So let's go a little closer. Okay, so three main layers in the wall of blood vessels, okay, arteries and veins. little differences between the arteries and the veins, but the main layers are the same. Okay, the intima, the media, and the adventitia or the externa. Okay, the tunica word is an optional word, so you can either put that in or not. So this is in the arteries, it's going to be the thickest layer. It's the smooth muscle. What's the name of this main layer here? Yeah, the tunica media or media. Yeah. Backwards. Hang on, I remember which side is which. Oh, I lost it. Okay, so then the outermost layer, what's this one called here? Yeah, adventitia. That's a dense fibrous connective tissue. We'll go over that a little bit more when we cover blood vessels as well. And what about the name of this very thin?
Is that the endo?
Well, what's the name of the main layer? It should be more specific. Yeah, the intima or tunica intima or interna. Same thing.
Intima or interna?
Same thing, yeah. And so what kind of epithelium, so a different question, what kind of epithelium is found here? Simple squamous, yeah. And its name is the endothelium. Okay, I see on your list it says endothelium. You should know that that's simple squamous. The name of that layer is endothelium. That's what it's called. The lining of blood vessels is called the endothelium.
For the adventitia or the tunica externa, which one do you, doesn't matter which
Either one,
right?
yep. Elastic fibers, all three of the main layers are going to have elastic fibers, a certain amount, depending on whether it's an elastic artery or a lot more elastic arteries are going to have more elastic fibers. You don't see them here, so we had the aorta slide for that.
Put on your 3D glasses so you will see it.
Yeah. We didn't get it, so it's a little better there. There. Okay. So this one, what is this one here?
Aorta.
Yeah, that's the wall of the aorta. And so this is the externa out here. Yeah, the really light one. And so on this slide, this is the very thick media layer. And so the question could be, what are the black lines there?
Elastic fibers?
Yeah, elastic fibers. Yeah. Aorta has to stretch, right? The vessel under the highest pressure.
So that's the media layer?
Yep, that's the media, the elastic fibers. Although they are found in all three layers, the elastic arteries such as the aorta, they have lots of elastic fibers in the media within the smooth muscle. So the pink is the smooth muscle and the black is elastic fibers. So you have all those elastic fibers around the smooth muscle fibers.
Oh, okay.
Are there other questions about that one? Blood vessels?
And that's on the outside or?
The outside? Well, it's the middle layer. So the intima layer is here.
Oh,
It's
that
just
really light layer, okay.
not really a
Is
good
it just like you
example
can
of
barely
that.
see a little bit of a way to the
Lighter?
very top?
This
is
area,
it?
interior area here, yeah. I mean, we
And
can
then
zoom in on it if
the
you want. You might be
adventitia.
able to make it out. But then this is the media. So that's all the middle layer, all the way up to approximately here. Okay, and then this is adventitia. It's kind of spreading apart out there.
Okay.
Make
Thank
sense?
you.
That makes more sense,
Yeah? Oh, okay. Good. Okay. Move on from that one. Okay, what organ? The lung, yeah. Well, there's something in here that I wanted you to see. I was looking for that lymphoid nodule, but now I can't find it. Come back to that another time. Can't quite get it into focus. Pretty close though. Okay, so here we are here. There's the lung, like, so we're within the lung. You see the alveoli. And so here's the circular structure. Somewhat oval, maybe. Okay, let's move a little closer before you decide what it is. Think of what are your options for a structure you might find in this. And so there's the wall of the structure. Epithelium still a little obscured at this point. Let's go one more closer and see if we can see what that epithelium is. Can see it. Good. So what kind of epithelium do you see there?
Simple
Pseudostratified
I see the cilia. Yeah, see the cilia? Kind of the wavy looking stuff right there. Right there.
Yeah.
There's a little layer of
Yeah.
mucus there, so
Okay.
it made it look a little different over there, but there's more visible right there. Okay, so you know it has that, you know it has this tissue, what's this?
Hylium.
That's hyaline cartilage, so what is that whole sort of oval structure. What are we looking at? What organ? Cross section of?
Bronchus.
Yeah, it's a bronchus. Don't mix up the two, bronchiole and bronchus. They sound very similar. They're spelled very closely. Easy to mix up.
Can you find a lymph nodule on that?
It's not on this slide. I was just looking for it on that last slide, but I'm not as good with this scope, and it takes me longer to do
Because
things.
I haven't seen it on video.
We'll go back if we get all the way through, and I'll look for it again. I just want to waste your time. Yeah, so this is a bronchus. Yeah, it has the cartilage plates. See where it's not all the way around. The primary bronchi, which is the first division from the trachea, they usually do have the C-shaped cartilage all the way around, but as it gets further from the trachea, the bronchi end up with the plates instead of the C-shaped cartilage. So that's another thing. See how it's separate? It's got these little sections.
Smooth muscle is,
It does have smooth muscle, yeah.
and that is,
Looking for a little too close, perhaps.
That's simple cuboidal.
No, it does not have simple cuboidal. It has the cilia. Remember, we saw the cilia, pseudostratified ciliated columnar. Some of these, depending on the shade of dye they use, it's hard to pick out the smooth muscle because everything looks pink. Okay, it looks like here.
where should it be in relation to, as far as layers go? Where are you, should you be
Yeah,
seeing it?
it should be. Let's see. Let's see, behind the deep to the hyaline, but it's so funky. Get another one. Maybe there's another one that's a little more clear. Yeah, I'm just not really seeing the smooth muscle on that one. Obviously. Okay, let's look. Let's look at this one. This is a different structure. Okay, so we're still within the lung. I didn't change the slide. And can get a little closer, but this is the structure in question. These are over here. We've got some veins, so some kind of stretched out veins. If you look closely, you can see the little red blood cells and a little smattering of white blood cells in there. And so this is the structure we're looking at here. Smooth muscle. I see here, a little here, over here. Obviously, you can't determine the epithelium from here. It looks like it's kind of wavy, this structure. I don't see any cartilage. Do you? See any cartilage? No. This is a structure that the mucosa will kind of fold in on itself when it's
Deflating?
when it's in the bronchoconstriction phase. Let's see, so it's like columnar, isn't it? I have a picture of one in the PowerPoint tonight. That's a really good example of what this is. So what is this?
Bronchial?
It's a bronchiole, yeah. The epithelium's not giving us too many clues though. It's supposed to be simple cuboidal. but there's a lot of gunk in there. It's probably got a lot of replacement cells, new stem cells coming from behind, so it looks multi-layered, but it looks like I see a little one right there that looks pretty good. And here's the smooth muscle.
That's a bronchial?
This is a bronchial, and so it can have this wavy appearance, okay, depending on its state, whether it's kind of expanded or more retracted. It can look more without the waviness as well. Okay, so here's the smooth muscle back here. So this is the bronchial. These are the smallest passageways. Okay, so let's go back out one more time. Just take a look at it. Okay, so bronchial. And let's see, what else do we need? Okay, we go back for the lymphoid nodule.
Alveoli.
And the alveoli. Okay, and then I think we're pretty much covered it. Okay, so the alveoli or alveolus are these structures. Okay, in your book it differentiates between alveolar sac and alveolar duct. We're not going to do that in the slide or in lecture. So it just sort of depends on how they're arranged. Okay, so these are all the alveoli. Okay, I'm going to go back to that slide and see if I can find the lymphoid nodule. The one I put a little star on, I could have sworn that one of you had it.
Yeah, we put a little.
We put a little star on it. Was
Yeah.
that you,
On
Al?
the
Yeah,
lymph
your
node.
group?
You did find one? A lymph node.
Oh, I think I hear it. Okay. I was expecting it to be a little more obvious. I fall into that trap, huh? Expect it to jump out at you. The coloring on the slide's a little bit different too, so it's good to see a slide that has different dyes used, because you do kind of get used to what the slide colors look like, what each tissue, the color it has, and then it can be misleading. Yeah, so this one, and I'm sorry, just the focus is not perfect on this. It's not focusing quite right, but enough. Okay, so here's the structure we're looking at. Alright, so I can see, you see the epithelium, the cilia. Okay, so what must this be? We see hyaline cartilage. It's a bronchus. There's a smooth muscle. This is actually better than the other one we were looking at. These are the hyaline cartilage plates. And the smooth muscle. Okay, so this is going around the wall of it, and then there's this structure. And that's what is that the one you found, Ellie?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a lymphoid nodule, just like we saw in the digestive system. Same idea. This is a mass of lymphatic tissue that has macrophages and white blood cells and a loose connective tissue, and it's there to protect against pathogens. So this is it here, lymphoid nodule within the wall of the bronchus. A little closer, see what it looks like. Come on.
So is the epithelium also on the surface of the lymphoid nodule?
Well, it looks like it penetrates all the way to the inside there, kind of splits it. See that? Looks like it. No epithelium right there.
No, that's
There it is.
way to stratified
see it right here. Nice picture right here. Here's the cilia, pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium. Yeah, lining the bronchus. And this is the lymphoid nodule.
And then the purple structure.
This looks like little pockets of hyaline cartilage.
And then
this
is that smooth muscle?
This looks like the underlying connective tissue, part of the mucous membrane.
Mucous membrane, okay.
And there's some of the, what are these?
Alveoli.
Yeah, alveoli.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. The alveoli are simple squamous epithelium, and then there's closely associated capillaries, and there's a little scattering of extra cells, some specific cells that have specific jobs. Okay?
So the lymph nodule is surrounded by alveoli. Except for
Yeah,
on the
because
side of
it's in the wall of the bronchus.
Yeah.
It's in the wall of the
Part of
bronchus.
the wall.
So bronchi are surrounded by, other than the primary bronchi, the first division, the bronchi are all surrounded by the alveoli. You'll see after tonight we do respiratory, it'll make more sense. Okay, I think that's good, unless you have any other questions on that one. Just pull that back out one more time.
John, the epithelium for the bronchial is similar to oil.
Yes. I'm sorry,
The bronchial.
the bronchial, that's not on your lab, but we will cover it in lecture. Alrighty.